So I have been asked a lot to talk about Yuta more in detail, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about what the character does. If you don't already know, we're going to start with that. We're also going to talk about the best characters, recollection bits, what materials you need so you can start farming these things now to grade him up whenever he is officially out and you obtain him. Also, we are going to talk about the best skills for Yuta as well. So a jam-packed character guide-esque video. So I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you happen to be new. About 80% of viewers aren't currently subscribed, so what are you doing? Make sure you subscribe. Also, hit that thumbs up. The like goal for today is 750, and post down below in the comments, how many cubes do you have for Yuta? If you guys have been around for a long time, I used to do these type of videos a ton with Dokkan and Legends. Haven't really done them as much since, but it's always fun to go back and do a video like this for a specific character. So if you guys enjoy this, please let me know by supporting the video or posting in the comments, hey, do more of these, and I will do more. Huge shout out to the YouTuber DRC3, also makes videos on this game, and a friend of mine sent me a video that he did. I thought it was pretty well done, where he covered a character guide for a previous character release. But one of the reasons why I'm bringing that up is because he was showing off a website that I assumed there was a website like this, but I just didn't bother looking for it. But anyway, there's a Japanese website that I'll link down below in the description, where Japanese players that have been playing the game for a while give you insights onto these characters, some of their best teammates, some of the best strategies, recollection bits, blah blah blah, all the things we're going to talk about in today's video. So I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. About 80% of viewers aren't subscribed, so again, make sure you do subscribe. All right, so I want to kind of start off by saying that if you summon for Fushiguro and you got him and you didn't have to sacrifice everything, especially if you're a free player, then you are going to be in the money, as they say, because Fushiguro is going to be awesome with Yuta. They are going to pair extremely nicely. Now, Yuta and Fushiguro is one of the better combos, but you don't need, especially right now in global, but you don't need this Fushiguro. You can do a lot of different things, as you're going to see throughout the video, but you have a very strong team when you pair them, and so that's going to be one of the main teams I specifically myself am going to be looking for. So more so, aside from Fushiguro, as we go back to Yuta, in today's video we're going to talk about the recollection bits, the materials you need, the characters like I've been talking about a little bit here, and more. So again, that's what we're covering today. But I just wanted to start off by saying this, that again, it was kind of weird that he released there, but he's going to be a really strong character. And ultimately, if you haven't really kind of figured it out, a lot of the game construction for teams, and we can also see this on the Japanese page here, a lot of the team construction kind of revolves around using one or two DPSs and then supports in the other spots. So if you've got one DPS, then you're using 3 supports basically, or otherwise you're using 2. So that's one of the main things that comes down to in this game. And you don't have a lot of characters, from what I've seen anyway, that are extremely strong in both. But with Megumi, you do have a character that's good in both, because Megumi is he's doing like multiple things. He's doing great damage out there too. But one of the best things he's doing, in my opinion, and it doesn't cost him any energy to do it, is he is debuffing the enemy by 100% on his basic skill. And so with that, you can really extremely buff the damage output of another character, and that's why I like him a ton. And so ultimately, like I said, he can function in multiple roles, where he is a supporter technically, but also a high damage character that can take benefit from other support characters, because he can be your main DPS too. So that's why the combination is great. So like I said, if you didn't have to, sacrifice everything, or if you were smart to re-roll, I think re-rolling for Megumi would have been a good decision, starting a new account, then just farming up for Yuta, especially back then, because you would have had like a week to do so and you would have been good. I mean, you could technically still do it, but you're going to take some time, right? So anyway, let's talk a little bit about Yuta here. I don't want to spend a ton of time on him because I did cover him previously. If you want to see that video, it'll pop up as an end screen where I go more in detail. But in my opinion, the best things about Yuta are as follows. The second skill, doing crit hit resistance, being an AoE and potentially one-shotting enemies, is solid. My only worry with this is that it does cost curse energy, of course, and when you look at the passive he has, you may have to manage your curse energy differently, to where you're only ultimately trying to use the ultimate skill or skill 3 and then just using the basic. Otherwise, that's probably what it looks like to me. But I really do like, on paper, the skill 2 at least, and it can be fun as a skill you use. Skill 3 is hilarious because it's just gonna nuke somebody down with a bunch of hits. it's gonna just nuke it, and it's mixed damage too, so there's benefits to that as well. It's just gonna rip somebody apart. The ultimate, one of the strongest hitting moves I've seen, gives him buffs for 4 turns, and also does 2,000 damage. So down here too, he increases damage with the combo ult. That's whatever, but I mean, it's nice, but it's whatever. He's got this mechanic here where at the start of each turn, if an ally's HP is 60% or below and own curse energy is 10 or above, ding, ding, ding. Got to make sure you're managing your curse energy in general in this game, but especially with Yuta. If you want to proc this effect, he can recover all allies' HP by 25%. That does cost him 10 curse energy to do. Big whoop. Increases his damages further, both damages, and fills his ultimate gauge by 200. That happens 3 times during the battle. So Yuta is like this, and there's another mechanic there too where he gets a retaliation from Rika whenever he's targeted by an enemy's melee attack. Yuta is like this all-encompassing character. Big DPS, ultimates, AoE damage, basically board clear, can one-shot enemies. He is buffing himself, he is healing allies, he is doing the retaliations out there. So he is just an extremely strong character. So keep that in mind with Yuta. He is going to be an awesome character to plug in, but you guys already knew that. But the thing is that I think when you look at these team constructions, he's kind of starting, he's coming out and he's replacing Gojo flat out. You can also, if you wanted to do double DPS, you can run Yuta with Gojo. One of the main things with Gojo is that he is leaving after 7 turns, and that's been a cause for concern for a lot of players, which, by the way, Hollow Purple comes out in like a month, and he is going to not only leave after 7 turns, I believe he leaves also after using his ultimate, so there's that. But I think one of the things you can do to bypass that is just to do more damage, and having an extremely strong DPS like Yuta and strong supports like SSR Yaga can truly help you beat the opponent faster, right? But I kind of think like with the current way the game is for me right now, I would probably try to run like Yaga, Nanami, and then, or Yaga Kaito probably, with Fushiguro and Yuta, and then put Gojo in the back. I think I would probably do that, to be honest. But the only problem with putting somebody in the back is that it could be kind of sketchy trying to get the cursed energy, but it is what it is. All right, so moving on from that, I wanted to talk more about some of the best characters to plug with him. Like I was saying, the game typically you're putting support characters alongside him. I think you could say there's a couple, but I think basically the single best character to plug alongside him is R Kaito, because he's doing the cursed energy recovery. It's hilarious that an R rarity character is that good. By the way, there's a R Inumaki who's extremely strong also that you would want to use if you wanted to just use a different character. I'll cover Inumaki, I guess, because he's right here already. But Inumaki has this awesome skill here where he decreases all allies damage but fills all allies ultimate skill gauge by 213% at level 10. Make sure you're aware of the HP, keep that in mind. But when used with Yuta will just consistently proc that recovery, so that's a fun thing too, because this guy's, you know, he's got lower stats by being low rarity, but he's also just gonna nuke himself. But yeah, so that's one of the things too, is just basically with Yuta and with any character, truly, you're trying to get to their ultimate as fast as possible, and if possible you want to use multiple ultimates. And so Inumaki is very helpful in helping you accomplish that. And when we pull up our boy Kaito here, there's very few R characters in the game. He's doing something similar. He's basically got those skills separated, kinda, except the curse energy version here, I guess, so not really. So you don't really need to do this. You can if you want to. It's cool to just keep a character from getting nuked. But the main thing you're doing is this, and then the ultimate. The ultimate is extremely strong on him. You want to use that ultimate when you get the opportunity, obviously as part of like a combo as well if you want to do that. His combo does not really do much. Yeah, not really doing much, but that doesn't really matter all that much. But here's what he's doing with skill 3. Recovers all allies cursed energy by 19 every turn for 2 turns, excludes himself. So that's why I say you kind of like, you can use skill 2, but you kind of want to make sure you're managing to make sure you've got the 30 cursed energy to use this when it comes time to use it again in a couple of turns. And then the ultimate increases all allies Jujutsu damage by 128% for 3 turns 1 time. So extremely strong character. It's really funny. But you want to plug him alongside any high DPS character. You plug him alongside Gojo. Gojo doesn't need, for the record with Gojo, he doesn't need the cursed energy because his skills are basically not costing him any. But regardless, he's extremely strong. And then our Inumaki as well. So you can, I'm not going to go over every character. You know, we don't have this Momo. You could use the other SR Momo if you wanted to do that. I would probably, with this specific setup, if I was trying to mirror the character portion of it, I would mirror what we have. And then for this last bot, either put Fushiguro in there or our Inumaki could be good as well. So that's what I would probably do. Our SR Nanami as well is a really solid character, but that's about all I would really do. Again, you could put her SR variant in there, but the SSR is just so much better because of in my opinion, the critical bonus. The critical bonus thing she's doing is crazy. So that SSR Momo is extremely strong. And then so for recollection bits, they're recommending using non-standard. Quick note on non-standard, it's extremely strong regardless, but it's extremely strong, like extremely strong with a duplicate, because with the freaking not even the limit break 3, but that's all right, but limit break 1 fills at the start of each wave, fills own ultimate skill gauge by 200. What the hell? Like, this is a nasty limit break. So I really like that, but again, it's mainly so he would just nuke the opposition down, and then when you couple this with his own damage increases that he can give himself, or potential debuffs you're applying to enemies throughout the team, and the bonuses he's getting, because all those bonuses do stack if you weren't aware when you use them in succession, assuming that they're not listed as only activating once. He's going to basically shred the opposition, and then with the current setups, you're trying to get the ultimate fast. This fits into that as well. You're trying to get multiple ultimates, so you could realistically get in a situation where you're using ultimate, skill 3 ultimate, like you're kind of just bouncing, like ultimate, skill 3 basic, you know, because like I said, I like skill 2 a lot, but you probably want to manage that curse energy in case you need it, just depends, and then cycle back to the ultimate, right? So it's going to work better in actuality than kind of what I'm saying, but you know. And anyway, moving on, this is a free one that's extremely strong, one of the best ones in the game still. You can farm it right now on global, and you can put this on him. When using the ultimate, increases his Jujutsu damage by I'll just say limit break 3, 60%, and at the start of each turn of own HP is 50% or below, increases his damage dealt by 30% for three times, up to 1 time during battle. This is kind of a crazy skill. That first limit break is kind of crazy. This thing will allow your character to just basically nuke opposition like ridiculously. So that's why Pride is one of the best ones you can plug on. Now, I was not aware of the SR one that they're trying to use in this Japanese image on Kaito. I'm going to pull that one up here. But I also like this one here because it gives you the extra ultimate gauge. So there's that. I have that one in the game. I don't know the name of it. There's just so many different names. But that one there with Nanami and Yuji. Unity is what it's called. That's right. So increases all allies' ultimate gauge charge rate by 30% for 2 turns. And this one is really strong too. If the selected enemies in the break status when attacking, fills the gauge. So another one where it's like you're just trying to spam ultimates, but you're needing limit breaks on these. There are, for the record, like there are duplicates of some of these in lower rarity. You've got to kind of go through and see what you have and dig, and then you'll come across them. They've got a sorting here. Let me see if I can find that. Physical attack, Jujutsu attack, damage up, taunt. No, they don't have one sorting for like ultimate, but you can go through and find similarities with some of these that they're basically like, you know, the same ones. Like there's a non-standard duplicate in here, but it's just weaker basically. You can find stuff like that overall. So I'm looking for that SR, is it this one? I think it's this one, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it that they're using. I want to see what that does. I'm not sure what it does. Let's see here live in the video. Increases all allies' damage dealt. Ooh, this is damn good. This is damn good. At the start of the battle, fills his own ultimate gauge. Ooh, this is a damn good one. Is this live right now? I need to see if I have this. This is super good. this is super good. All right, okay, so I wasn't sure about perfect synchronization. I had not seen that one before because, again, like I said, you got to kind of go through and dig. So if you're looking for replacements, like say you don't have non-standard, you could look through for a replacement. I mean, you should be using Pride, I guess, if you don't have non-standard, but if you don't have Pride or non-standard, you can look through and find other alternative replacements. Last thing I wanted to see here was this one. Let me see what that pops up as, and we'll kind of go from there. Let's see, the memories SSR. I can't tell when one's a gacha one or a free one because there's just so many of them that they have in the game right now. It's just kind of all over the place. So it's like if you didn't know already, again, good luck because you're gonna have to go through and find it because it's kind of hard to find the names. I guess I could probably click on it on the site and just let it Google Translate, and then hopefully it's not too bad. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. All right, so what do we have here? If selected opponent is in break, 200 recovery of the ultimate gauge. Oh, okay. So if you're targeting an enemy that's in break gauge, then you're gonna get the extra ultimate. Okay. Instead of going up and down, the formula doesn't rise. Body surgery rises significantly to do. Support officers in somatic attack. Okay, let me see what the first skill was. Ultimate gauge is given to all allies. Interesting. I'm gonna have to find that one just so we can cover it. I'm gonna have to find it because it just seems extremely strong. I'm just also curious as to whether it's a free one. I'd assume it's a free one. It feels like most of these are or not free, excuse me. It feels like there are some really good free ones, but there are also some that aren't free, you know. Yeah, see, here it is. It's not free. Increases all allies damage dealt. If own ultimate gauge is full when activating, increases damage dealt. Oh, it's a nuking one. Interesting. Kind of, but then I know that I saw a little bit for the enhanced version of it. And then right here at the start of each wave, increases break damage. The more turns have passed, the greater the break damage. Oh, that's what it's doing. So it's giving all allies damage, and then also increases the own character's damage, and then also increases that character's break damage. So very, very interesting one. So another one that you guys can use. This one isn't live in the game, I don't think right now, but another one that you can use for sure to try to enhance the team. So I wanted to also, now that we're here, talk about the main materials that you guys are going to need for Yuta, because I know that's a question that people are asking as well, as people are interested in trying to enhance their stuff. But I wanted to make it clear also, they posted here, like I've been saying throughout the video, your priorities are going to be your ultimate and your skill 3. Then skill 2, and skill 1 is the least important skill for you to upgrade and work on. I believe, correct me if I'm mistaken, I believe later on in the game, the game's AI is changed, right? To where it prioritizes the most leveled skills, right? I think that's how the game works. As opposed to right now where it just kind of picks, I think, the strongest attack you have. So there's that. They go into a detailed explanation of why, all those things. And here's a look at the list. So the cursed objects needed in JP. So 37,000 JP, and then all of these as well. So you guys can grind these. Now, some of these are just not going to be available on global. I don't think we have access to these green ones yet, right? Because we're going up to grade 8. But you're gonna get all this stuff, or need all this stuff to level him up. So that's how things are on Yuta. So all in all, we went through entirely, and let's go ahead and recap. The characters you're going to want to use with Yuta are typically going to be support characters, or Fushiguro. You can also use alongside him a host of other characters depending what you're trying to do, but it's largely the same support characters you should have been using up to this point. Nanami, Yaga, Inumaki, Kaito, like the same characters you should have already been using. If you're trying to pair him with another DPS, we only have a few really good options in the game right now. It's basically Gojo, Fushiguro, and like that's mostly it. There are some other characters that can do damage like Nobara, but I feel like that's probably pushing it. You should probably just put another support in there. Maybe you can put one of those characters in the 5th slot if you're interested in that, like I was bringing up earlier. But in terms of recollection bits, the main ones you're going to want to use are going to be damage buffing ones. So you're going for Pride, you're going for non-standard. Also, Hot Pot, I think, could be a fun one to put on the team. But oh, I forgot to bring this up. The Gojo camping one. This is another free one that buffs damage. You're going to want to put this on a character as well if you don't have those alternative ones. I'd assume everyone has this maxed out because is the event still up? I'm not sure, but I forgot to bring this one up. Increases damage, and then also increases own curse energy consumption efficiency as well. That's actually extremely strong on him because it'll help alleviate some of the curse energy concerns that I brought up earlier throughout the video. And that's mostly it. I mean, they're not even recommending anything else here on the wiki aside from adult time, which I also forgot to bring up. Another damage increasing one, increases all allies critical hit rate if you've got that first dupe. So basically, you know, there's a lot of options that you can do, but Yuta is going to be a character that is going to be extremely strong for you. Now, remember in the beginning of the video, I talked about Fushiguro and how you guys wanted to use him. And I also said I did a video covering him and all that in detail. Well, guess what? It's now live on the screen. You can click it and I'll see you over there. Make sure you subscribe.